let's take a look now at how we set it up. Take a second look at this. Bridge rectifier, the PC board, and the lights that we showed before. Added a 2-pin connector socket. Okay, so then that meant I could bring power into the shell to put on our 2 work lights. And the way we did that is, again, with some wire modeling. Here's our connector. That way we can take the shell off without unsoldering or doing anything. We can just unplug it. Okay, so red wire comes up, runs to a piece of that copper jeweler's wire, up to the first work light. And what's kind of neat is, because this is copper jeweler's wire, I can bend it and I can aim it and it'll stay. Okay, so then on the other side it comes down, makes a loop around, goes up to the second work light, comes down, resistor, and to the black wire and the connector. That's all there is to it. So then we can put the shell on, and it's got enough extra so that we can get the shell on, plug it in and get the shell on without any real troubles. So that'll just, we'll take a tweezers, plug that in, put the shell on. Got some glass in. We got our exhaust. That exhaust turned out pretty cool. That is from the, if you saw in the comments, 187 steel mill modeler suggested doing this, and I've watched like all of his crane videos, and I like the way this turned out. It's a piece of plastic pipe, the piece of aluminum pipe through it, just in a little shape there, and looks sweet, doesn't it? That's a nice exhaust setup. All right, so let's get this thing together, and then, okay, there it is. Check out the spotlights on the front here. All the interior lights are good, and they are so bright. Let's go around this side. Look at that. Look how bright those are. It's not totally dark in here either. Those things are super bright. So then we look over from the side. So they're like little flat panel lights. And from the side, oops, oh, these, I believe these wheels are not RP25. They're Proto 87 wheels is what they are. So there it is. Not too bad. Let's turn on some lights here. Okay. So there it is. That is Colossus 2. So now we have got a nice, we've got a nice crane cab. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's get this down. Let's bring this over here. We can see better. So check out the exhaust. Good. That's what I told you. 187 steel mill modeler suggested this, and exhaust is pretty neat looking. Not too bad. Okay, so a number of you have asked about motorizing the winch. So in this crane, we're not going to motorize the winch yet. We're not quite ready for that. We got to practice before we can do that. So I'm going to show you something that I got here. Now, this has been sitting in the corner over there by the Midway yard for a while. I fixed it up a little bit. I don't know if you can remember this, but This is a Tyco. I think it's called gantry crane. So it's a crane cab. The regular Tyco crane sits here, and then there's this other thing that has a plunger. You press it down, has a claw, grabs onto something, and picks it up. So now that we've done lights with the jewelry wire, what we could do to practice for doing a crane like this with motorized everything, I've got the tiny motors, and I've got Z-scale decoders, and they work just fine for that. But to practice for that, I think we're going to do something with this. We're going to put the crane on here, and then because we're using this jewelry wire for our wiring, we can wire it on the outside, and if we paint it gray, it's going to look just like conduit. Put a little electrical box somewhere, and we bring power up here, and this would be our chance to try some motorizing because it's stationary. We can connect it to a stationary power source, make a little control panel. We got tons of switches. We've made tons of control panels. We can just connect all the things that are motorized to a control panel, mount it right to the side layout, and then I think we can get motorized winches, and we'll be able to do rotation, and that would be kind of interesting. We can do that without having to worry about a decoder yet. We can make that a stationary feature. So that's kind of where we're going with this. Now that we've got some good practice in on this guy, we're in good shape to step it up just a little bit and go for something more complicated, where we get a chance to try the motors and things. We'll see what we can do with that. But there it is. Now we just gotta put his boom in and do the two. It's got two winches, and we'll get those in there, and then we'll have to do some sewing. Gonna thread some cable in there. I got some string I picked up at the sewing store. We're going to use. Should look like good steel cable.